This is a picture of me at the house I bought 20 years ago at our housewarming party, October 8th, 2005. And after buying the house, updating it, buying furniture for the family room, being all settled in, celebrating at a housewarming party at the house I shopped for 4 years, that I invested about 300,000 into in '05. Gang stalkers swarmed around. They vandalized the mailbox on a post in front of the house on the street 2 times, broke in my car, stole $500 worth of property, my real estate portfolio, my daughter's Royal Academy of Dance ballet bag by a car break-in, $1,000 worth of my clothes went missing, about 4 pairs of my True Religion jeans that were $200 each, that I bought in '05 after I went on a low-carb diet and lost about 25 pounds. And our cats went missing when stalkers were there. The mailbox was stalked. Cars parked on the street and stalkers stared at the mailbox, stood by the driveway where the mail on the other side from where the mailbox on a post was. And everybody swarmed around the house. Um, and all this went on from '05 to '09. Then I was slandered and lied about to DCFS. A not needed case file was opened in '09, as an overnight mother would not need a case file. Plus, I'm sober in AA since 1985, and that's a fact. And so I was very lied about, and my readings say that gang stalkers plan to run us out and do ID theft. Since I was lied about to DCFS in spring '09, I don't receive mail or money as I should. And it appears they did this, and that's a picture of my mother and I, Denise Fox, and she planned to live in the house with us, and that's the main reason I hurried and bought a one-story house in '05. Now, my readings say that when I bought the house in '05, that gang stalkers lied to the banks and lied that was wrong for a single mom to buy a house for $1,037,000, and they lied they needed to set me up to be a case file to get a hold of finances. Now, I was a professional realtor when I bought my house. So how dare anybody say anything about a real estate expert buying their own house? So readings say the gang stalkers and liars had an ulterior motive to do identity theft to me. And that is why they did what they did, to rob my money and mail, and to rob my real estate business I built up for 10 years, and so on. And my readings say gang stalkers do this to a lot of single mothers, and they target divorced moms who filed for divorce, and they target unwed moms and unwed parents, and that they make up stories to do ID theft, and they lie to banks and post offices and lie they need to get a hold of finances when no, they do not. So I was a realtor who bought my own house in '05, and it was very planned out by me, a real estate expert. My reading says I'm robbed for 2 decades by lies they told about a house I bought when I was a real estate agent 20 years ago. That is hard to believe. My reading says it every day. And today my reading says 5 liars wrote liar letters to banks when I bought a house in '05 and lied they had to get a hold of my finances because of the house I bought. That I invested almost 300,000 into in '05 to stay there the rest of my life. That I shopped for 4 years. My reading says they lied to banks that she just bought it so quick and scribbled an offer in the car without thinking. No, it was very planned out. I'm the biggest thinker and planner on earth. And that is how I was as a realtor. And as a real estate expert, I knew to write an offer and get it in before somebody else wrote an offer. And all realtors know that. And I sold homes in the multiple offer market. When a house was listed, there'd be 3 to 10 offers. People would write over list price, and everybody getting their offer in quick as the house was listed to get the house. And I knew as a realtor, you get your offer in before someone else writes an offer. You don't wait when you want a house. So I did that as an expert. I wrote an offer in my car, full price, non-contingent, $40,000, 3% down I had in the bank, to get my offer in before somebody else wrote an offer. And I got the house by my smart real estate know-how. And that's a fact. And my reading says, gang stalkers lied. What I did was dumb when it was smart. And they lied that was wrong for a single mom when it was nice and right and good for a single mom to do that for my daughters and for my mom to live with us in a house. And that's the other reason I hurried and sold and bought in '05, because my mother was getting older. And unfortunately, stalkers ran us out, lied about me to DCFS in '09, right when my mom was going to move in the house with us, and ruined all the plans, all I'd worked for many years. And that's a fact. And I don't receive mail-in money as I should since, or PayPal, Cash App, Venmo as I should since. So I want to explain. We bought a house in the suburbs in 1997, and that was to get in the good school district and to have a house, tract home neighborhood for my daughter's childhood, to have lots of kids to play with on the street, and to get in a blue ribbon school district. And that is why we moved to the suburbs, for our daughters' sakes, for their happiness, their childhood, and for a good school district. That is why we moved from the San Fernando Valley, also to get away from crime in the San Fernando Valley, because we had a beautiful house in Valley Glen, and my daughter went to Dixie Canyon Elementary School in Sherman Oaks, Ventura Boulevard, but I was worried about the crime in the valley. And so that is why we hurried and bought a house in the suburbs. It was for the school district, and that's a fact. And I don't want this on here. And so, anyway, I want to explain the story of the house again. So 97, we bought a house. It was an original house, gold stucco paint, brown trim, all original inside, brown linoleum floors, and the kitchen and entry, and it had been a rental property. So we got the biggest house for the best price, best house for our money, to get in the school system, to get in a good tract home neighborhood with children, for our daughters to play with them. And I knew someday the house would be updated, sold, and I wanted to buy another house in the same area and to keep in the same school system and so on. And that was the plan from day one. And when we bought the house, I said, oh, I can make this house look good. So we bought the best house for our money, 1,822 square feet, very large backyard, 2-story, 2.5 bath, 3-car garage. And it was, again, gold, stucco, brown trim. And I knew I could make this house look good. In 2000, I was legally separated like a divorce. My ex-husband got his community property. The house was, I owned the house alone. I started updating it with my money as a single mom real estate lady. And then in 2001, I started shopping for a house to buy. So my younger daughter would have a large bedroom, because her bedroom was small at the 2-story. And so I'd have a 1-story for my mother to live with us. So I